Good morning. Today we are going to talk about political parties. Remember, as we are taking notes, if you have questions, make sure you come up and see me. And if you have an activity to do, make sure that you pause the video and follow the instructions. To start, the political parties in the United States, there are two, the Republicans and Democrats. The Democrats are called liberals and the left wing. The Republicans are called conservatives, the right wing, the GOP, which stand for the Grand Old Party. Each party is comprised of people who have similar beliefs. Some issues include how people view gun rights, gay rights, abortion, taxes, immigration, and healthcare. Each party's stance or ideas on that issue make up what's called a plank. Plank, if you look in the picture right here, is just a piece of wood. All of these planks, if you put them together, create what's called a platform. The platform is what the party believes as a whole. For example, Republicans' platform is usually pro-life, meaning they don't believe in abortions, pro-border security, which means they are usually anti-immigration, a strong military, and they like a market economy where the buyers and sellers make all the decisions. Democrats usually believe in being pro-choice, which means they allow abortions, pro-immigration, welfare programs such as free and reduced meals, and universal health care. Now, not every party has the same beliefs, and not every person in every party has the same beliefs. You don't have to agree with all the issues to be in a party. You can even be in some of the issues and agree with the other party for other issues. Some of the advantages of having political parties are that it creates political stability, so there's less confusion, and it's simpler because there are fewer choices. If you only have two major parties, really you just have two ideas, and you pick the one that you like the more better. The disadvantages is it's less competitive. It usually stems into just two different choices. Voter apathy, which means that some people might not like either candidate and they don't want to vote. And there's fewer variety of ideas or less variety of ideas, which means that we don't have as much conversation to create new ideas. In elections, political parties compete to control the government. The president, the Congress, which is part of the Senate, and the House of Representatives, the governor and state legislatures. If you look right here, the number 100 represents the number of senators. There were 59 Democratic senators in 2008 and only 41 Republican senators. And in 2014, there were 435 total representatives in the House of Representatives. Each red dot represents a Republican, each blue dot represents a Democrat. In 2014, the Republicans controlled the House of Representatives. Additionally, this map of the United States shows the political party of each state's governor. The red represents Republican governors, blue represents Democrat governors, and gray represents independent governors, which mean they were not one party or the other. The party in control has more power to pass laws. For example, when Barack Obama was elected, the Democrats had control of the Senate and the House of Representatives. So the Democrats were in control of all three major bodies, the two bodies in Congress and the president, which gave them a lot more power to pass laws. What we're going to do now is I want you to pause. Make sure that you do not continue until you find out which party controls each part of the government. make sure you find the President, make sure that you find the Senate, make sure you find the House of Representatives. Also, we're going to check for Maryland's governor, the Maryland House of Delegates, and the Maryland State Senate. So we need to find out which party is in control of each of these 6 items. Make sure that you pause before continuing. Pause, pause, pause. At this point, you should have found out which party controls the President, Senate, and House of Representatives, and Maryland's governor, the Maryland House of Delegates, and the Maryland State Senate. At this point, come up and show me what you have done, and then we can move on to the next slide. We're now going to talk about interest groups. Interest groups focus on just one particular issue. They try to persuade people and the government to agree with them. They use money to create advertisements, send mail, and hold rallies to persuade people. Interest groups will endorse or support political candidates who they believe will support their cause. For example, there might be an anti-immigration political interest group, which is going to focus on immigration. When that party or when that interest group tries to talk to people, they might try and support one candidate or another candidate. For example, do you think an anti-immigration interest group would support Democrats or Republicans? Remember, Hillary Clinton is a Democrat and Donald Trump is a Republican. Which one do you think they would support? Write your answer in your notes, please. There are many interest groups in the United States. Before you continue, I want you to research 3 different interest groups and see what they believe. So you're going to pause again right now and pick any of these 3 interest groups, or pick 3 of these 5 interest groups and tell me what they believe. Just write one sentence for it. Once you have finished writing your sentence, make sure you come see me and show me what you have written. Thank you very much. There's also something called third parties. Third parties do not usually win elections, especially national elections. Sometimes they might win state elections, but they will not usually win the presidency. They do not have major support, which means they don't have that much money, and they don't have that much individual support from people, so they don't get votes. Third parties usually represent people who do not agree with the Republicans or Democrats. For example, there's the Libertarian Party, which is currently the biggest third party. There's also the Green Party, which is another large and third party political party. Libertarians believe in having very little government control over everything in terms of money and in terms of social issues. The Green Party believes in having a lot more environmental regulation, which means they want to decrease population and increase air quality, water quality, and preventing health issues and environmental issues. At this point, you are done. You can feel free to play this game at the bottom at icivics.org, or you can play the geography game, and you can also play the redistricting game from last presentation, so from yesterday's stuff. If you have any questions, make sure you come and see me. Additionally, we can look at another website called 538.com. I will send you the link in a moment. So you can also go to 538.com, which is this website right here, and we can copy it, and then we will go into that website. We're currently at 538.com. It is a political website that tracks the different demographics or trends or statistics on the election. What I'd like you to do now is I'd like you to click this map right here, and I want you to scroll down and we can see the electoral map. Remember, we talked about the electoral map briefly yesterday, or last class, where we saw the different numbers of votes. If you hover over any individual state, you can see the likelihood of each candidate winning. For example, in Washington State, right here, Hillary Clinton has a 98.4% chance of winning, and Donald Trump has a 1.6% chance of winning. In Idaho, seems a little bit flipped over. Clinton has a 1% chance, and Trump has a 99% chance. You can go through and just see the difference in each state and which states are more competitive, which usually means that their percentages are going to be closer together. You can also look at how the chances have changed based on different times, and if you look even further down, right here you can see how much each state is worth based on their electoral votes. For example, California is very big. They have 55 electoral votes. Even though California is smaller on the map, it takes up a lot of this map. Similarly, Texas, Florida, New York, Pennsylvania, Ohio, and Illinois are all much bigger than they normally are. Some of the really big states, like Nevada, New Mexico, Arizona, Alaska, Montana, South Dakota, and North Dakota, are all much smaller. Even though they have a lot of land, they don't have that many people. And electoral votes are based on population. So make sure that when you see this, you see how much this is showing how much population or electoral votes each state has, not the actual size of the state. The last thing is this little line. What this demonstrates is how much of a vote that Hillary Clinton will get, or how much of a vote Donald Trump will get. The darker the colors, like DC is very dark blue, it means that Hillary Clinton will win by a bigger margin. The darker red means that Donald Trump will win by a bigger margin. If it's in this range right here, it looks like it will be pretty even. Currently, what they predict is that there will be more states that vote for Hillary Clinton, or more electoral votes that go for Hillary Clinton than for Donald Trump. Either way, if you have questions, make sure you come up and see me. And if you have any other work that you need to do, make sure you talk to me first.